Hi, this is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Welcome to the lesson. I'm going to be teaching you how to play muted notes which add loads of funk and groove to your bass lines. You've probably all heard the bass line from Hotel California, and it's got some great muted notes in that. So that bass line was one of the first bass lines I tried to play when I was a beginner. I didn't know that there were muted notes, but I could hear something really nice in the bass line, so I spent quite a lot of time trying to just replicate that sound. So in the lesson I'm going to show you how to play these muted notes. I've got a really great exercise that you can take away and practice. You can download the PDF of that by following the link in the video description below. Remember to like and share this video if you like it. That really helps me to spread the word with Greg's Bass Shed. So there's several ways to use muted notes. We can do the whole bass line muted. Or you can just have single muted notes. And there's a few different techniques to do this, but we'll look at left hand muting for the single note. Just so you know, another name for a muted note is a ghost note or a dead note, and they all mean the same thing. It's basically a note with no tone on it at all. So to produce a muted note, we rest our left hand lightly on the fretboard. So have your finger first play a normal G, and then to play the muted note, rest your hand lightly and just keep your hand in the same place. So a normal G and then a muted note G. So you try that, just play the muted note. And this is how a muted note's written. So it's a small cross with a stem on it, and this one would be a quarter note muted note. So now let's try a muted note followed by a normal note, and then just keep repeating that. So muted, G, muted, G. And this is how that's written down. So try that with me. 3, 4, muted, normal, muted, normal. And we can speed that up. So try that a few times yourself, pause the video and just get used to it and make sure you can get a nice dead note. And obviously we can play that anywhere. You'll get a slight bit of tone on it, so you want to place it so it fits in with the bass line you're doing. Okay, let's look at the muted note exercise now. This is a really good exercise for you to get used to playing muted notes. So I'll demonstrate it for you first so you can see in close up, and then I'll show you how to play it. Okay, so we'll look at the first two measures. There are 8 measures, so I'll break it up into 4 sections of 2 measures each. So it's all on G. We're going to play a G first, so that's 3rd fret of the E string. G, muted, G, muted, G, muted, G, muted. With me after 3, 4, 3, 4. G, muted, G, muted, G, muted, G, muted. Again, 3, 4. Okay, so that's fairly simple that, and we'll move on to the next 2 measures, and that's the same pattern but double the speed. So we were playing quarter notes and now we're going to play 8th notes. So with me, 3, 4. And again. Okay, so we do those 4 measures. So we've got quarter notes first and then double the speed 8th notes. So the whole 4 measures. With me, 3, 4. Obviously that might be a bit too fast for you. If so, just play it really slow first of all until you're comfortable, and then you can speed it up. So if we look at measures 5 and 6 now, we've got muted G, and then G, muted, G. So for me, 3, 4, muted G, muted G, G, muted, G. Once more, 3, 4. They're all quarter notes again, and then the last two measures, measures 7 and 8, we've got eighth notes, and this is a bit more tricky, this pattern here. So first of all, we've got muted G, G, muted. So muted G, G, muted G, muted, G. 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. And the last measure, G, G, muted G, G, muted, G. G, G, muted G, G, muted, G. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. So those two measures, 3, 4. Once more, 3, 4. So that's the whole exercise. So practice this exercise slowly at first. It gets quite tricky when you get to the last 4 measures, but it's a great exercise to develop that coordination between the left hand, the right hand, and your brain, so what you're thinking of doing. And then try to put some muted notes into your own bass lines. As I said before, it gives it a really funky feel and a really groovy feel to your bass lines. Okay, well I hope you found the lesson useful. If you did, please like it and share it with anyone. And obviously any comments, leave those below and I'll answer those straight away. Obviously subscribe if you haven't already and download the PDF. I've got loads more of this information on my website, more videos, and soon I'm going to have some downloadable PDFs actually on the website. So that's gregsbassshed.com. I've also got details on there about my new Bass Beginners eBook, so you can join the mailing list for that if you want to. And also I'm going to be doing a new series on Instagram, Bass in 60 Seconds. So I'm going to do little snippets of lessons, different bass lines, different techniques. So take a look at Greg's Bass Shed on Instagram. All the links for all of this are in the description below. Take a look in the description and find some more details and more information about my video series. So this is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed, and I'll see you next week.